There are certainly some frightening creatures nowadays, from spiders to that crazy deep-sea anglerfish that haunts our nightmares. But if we look back to prehistoric times, there were a lot more animals that were simply terrifying. Let's take a look at terrifying animals you're glad are extinct. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative videos like these. Number 11. Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus is one of the most spectacular and horrible creatures that ever stalked the earth. It had an elongated skull much like a crocodile, and a snout filled with approximately 64 straight conical teeth. Evidence suggests that it was semi-aquatic, so there was nowhere to escape from this fish and dinosaur-devouring monster. Spinosaurus is currently the largest of all known carnivorous dinosaurs, even larger than T-Rex and Gigantosaurus. While the exact size is debated, recent finds and studies suggest that Spinosaurus may have reached 41 to 59 feet in length and weighed in excess of 20 tons. It had elongated neural spines that ran along its back, creating a sail-like structure that made it look even larger and more terrifying. Number 10. Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus is an extinct genus of ape from the early to middle Pleistocene of southern China, represented by one species, G. blacki. The remains of Gigantopithecus' 2 molar teeth were first identified in a drugstore by anthropologist Ralph von Koenigswald in 1935, who subsequently described the ape. In 1956, the first mandible and over 1,000 teeth were found in Liuchang, and numerous more remains have since been found in at least 16 sites. Gigantopithecus was once argued to be a hominin, a member of the human line, but it is now thought to be closely allied with orangutans. Classified in the subfamily Progeny, Gigantopithecus has traditionally been restored as a massive gorilla-like ape, potentially 200 to 300 kilograms, 440 to 660 pounds when alive, but the paucity of remains make the total size estimates highly speculative. Number 9. Direwolf. Another big predator that's commonly found in the La Brea tar pits. This wolf species was about the same length as the modern gray wolf, but it weighed quite a bit more, as much as 175 pounds. Direwolves had stronger jaws than today's gray wolves, which meant, among other things, that they were good at crushing bone, says Lindsay. Nonetheless, they were extinct about 10,000 years ago. While their smaller cousins are still around, gray wolf populations have made a comeback in recent years thanks to reintroduction programs in places like Yellowstone National Park. Among the direwolf's favorite foods was the western horse, which lived in North America until about 11,000 years ago. Horses died out in the Americas and only returned in 1493 when Christopher Columbus's crew brought them along on ships on their second voyage. Number 8. Meganeura. What's so scary about a dragonfly? If you were a smaller bug, or one of the amphibians or other vertebrates milling around a pond hundreds of millions of years ago, you definitely wouldn't want to be spotted by Meganeura, the largest known flying insect, which had a wingspan of about 2.5 feet. They lived during the same time as Arthropleura, a period known as the Carboniferous. The huge arthropods either went extinct or evolved to become smaller, and again, no one is exactly sure why. The oxygen content in the atmosphere did decrease, but big amphibians were also developing. Number 7. Quetzalcoatlus. Terrifying animals didn't occupy only the ground and the water. Imagine a predatory creature the size of a giraffe, with a 33-foot wingspan, flying through the air. Quetzalcoatlus northropi lived during the Cretaceous period, along dinosaurs, and might even have eaten smaller ones. A theory detailed in a Wired magazine article in 2013 suggests that they mostly hunted by walking around like a stork, plucking plants and small animals off of the ground with their 6-foot beaks. But when they took to the air, researchers think that they were graceful and powerful flyers. Quetzalcoatlus had hollow bones like modern birds, so where giraffes weigh as much as 2,800 pounds, these creatures only carried about 550 pounds up into the air, where they might have been able to fly and glide for days at a time. Fossils show that they were covered with hair, which probably helped them regulate their body temperature during flight. Number 6. Titanoboa. Titanoboa is an extinct genus of very large snakes that lived in what is now La Guajira in northeastern Colombia. It is the largest snake that ever existed, more than 40 feet long and weighing up to 2,500 pounds. This one appeared not long after dinosaurs went extinct, but it went extinct, lucky enough, way before we ever appeared. Fossils of Titanoboa have been found in the Carahone Formation and date to around 58 to 60 million years ago. It inhabited the first recorded tropical forest in South America. It shared its ecosystem with large crocodile and large turtles. While initially thought to have been an apex predator of the Paleocene ecosystem in which it lived, analysis of the cranial elements of Titanoboa possessed unique features relative to other boids. These features include high palatal and marginal tooth position counts, low-angled quadrate orientation, and reduced palatine pterygoid anteri. This has pointed to the genus being dominantly piscivorous, a trait unique to Titanoboa among all boids. The size of T. cerahonensis has also provided clues as to the Earth's climate during its existence. Because snakes are exothermic, the discovery implies that the tropics, the creature's habitat, must have been warmer than previously thought, averaging about 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 5. A monster fish. The Dunkleosteus lived 360 million years ago. It was a heavily armored fish that grew more than 30 feet long. Its beak-like mouth was specifically made for biting through armor like its own, indicating it may have been either a cannibalistic species or one that fought over territory. Their jaws were so efficient they could hinge them open and snap them shut in a matter of milliseconds. It's still unclear what the entire body of a Dunkleosteus looked like, but we're guessing that very few other ancient animals ever lived after finding out. Number 4. Megasharks. Megalodon, meaning big tooth, is an extinct species of shark that lived approximately 23 to 36 million years ago, during the early Miocene and Pliocene. It was formerly thought to be a member of the family Lamnidae and a close relative of the great white shark. However, it is now classified into the extinct family Ottodontidae, which diverged from the great white shark during the early Cretaceous. While regarded as one of the largest and most powerful predators to ever have lived, Megalodon is known from fragmentary remains, and its appearance and maximum size are uncertain. Most estimates of Megalodon size extrapolate from teeth, with maximum length estimates up to 18 meters or 59 feet, and average length estimates of 10.5 meters or 34 feet. Estimates suggest their large jaws could exert a bite force of up to 110,000 to 180,000 newtons. That's 25,000 to 40,000 pounds. Their teeth were thick and robust, built for grabbing prey and breaking bone. Number 3. Massive millipedes. Arthroplera is a genus of extinct millipede arthropods that lived in what is now northeastern North America and Scotland around 315 to 299 million years ago, during the late Carboniferous period. The larger species of the genus are the largest known land invertebrates of all time and would have had few, if any, predators. It ranged in length from a moisei, which was only about 0.3 meters long, to an armada, which was 2.5 meters long. Number 2. 3-foot-long scorpions. Pulmonoscorpius is a giant species of extinct scorpion, which was very similar to modern scorpions with front claws and a sting in its tail. It will approach anything out of curiosity, but it doesn't like to be touched. This combination causes dinos, wild and tamed, and players that bump into it to cause it to attack virtually everything at any time. It is an enormous land scorpion that haunts the island's warmer interior. It has a glossy chitinous exoskeleton and, uniquely, a pair of venom sacs stored within its pincers. Between these and the one that makes up its fearsome stinger, the creature can inject other animals with a potent paralytic neurotoxin. Unlike that of most other creatures, its blood is green. It lurks in caves around the island, as well as the rocky terrain around the bottom of mountains, though the latter is much less common. Number 1. Giant crocodiles. Purosaurus means flesh crocodile. It is an extinct genus of giant caiman that lived in South America. These creatures were 10.9 meters or 36 feet long and 5.6 metric tons or 6.2 short tons. The The large size and estimated strength of this animal appears to have allowed it to include a wide range of prey in its diet, making it an apex predator in its ecosystem. As an adult, it would have preyed upon large to very large vertebrates, such as the xenarthrans and no ungulates present, with no real competition from sympatric, smaller carnivores. Researchers have proposed that the large size of Purosaurus, though offering many advantages, may also have led to its vulnerability. The constantly changing environment on a large geological scale may have reduced its long-term survival, favoring smaller species more resilient to ecological shifts. Do share any other animals that you know of which would have made their existence in the current era horrifying in the comments below.